Right, heading off up this one. This is a very nice trail. You can do this one summer or winter, doesn't really matter. This is a prime bear area, so always be aware of that. I think it's not a particularly long trail, about 5k I think, or something like that. Well, it's a nice sunny day anyway. I'll certainly take that. There's some spectacular cloud on the way in. I did try to get some pictures, but had a mishap with one of my batteries. So I'm not sure the batteries are good, so we'll have to have a look. I thought I had them all charged up. However, not so much. All good. The bridge is up here now. Better cross back a bit further downstream there. A lot of the bridges down in here got absolutely mullered in the floods. So 2013, fortunately. Most have been rebuilt now. That certainly makes for a nice start to the day, eh? Yeah. I will put this away shortly. I think the old bridge was further downstream. That water certainly looks cold, eh? Don't think I'd want to be in there today. Right, I will continue on up the trail and do some more in a minute. Well, I wasn't planning on doing any video until I got up to the lake. However, that sunrise, look at that, eh? Can't odds that. Yeah. I'll take that. Very nice. Oh, there's a cobweb right across there too. I don't think the camera will pick up the cobweb, but either way, that is very nice. Well, the first part of that trail, there's a fair bit of up. It's obviously an old logging road or fire service road. However, the up is short-lived and you get back into a much nicer forest trail. I will take this any day of the week. This is very nice. I need to swing around here to the side somewhere over here. Well, this is not a nice time of the day for a walk in the forest. I don't know what it is. Mees and birds, several squirrels already. It's that time of year for the squirrels. They know the cold is coming. All the wildlife knows the cold is coming. Yeah. I have to say, it's actually very nice to be out and about actually with a coat on. It's most of my time is spent in the summer with just t-shirts. But if you get too hot wearing a t-shirt, not a lot you can do. So once you get to this time of the year, where you need jackets and different layers, it's actually not bad, because I can always take a layer off or add a layer to control heat. And the best bit, listen, no mosquitoes. Lovely, isn't it? Right, I'll do some more when I get a bit further along the trail. Right. Bridge number 2. Not much water flowing down there at the moment. There could be water flowing down there, you just can't see it. It's through the rocks at the bottom. Great colours, eh? Yeah. Right. The trail continues. This is a fairly rooty trail. I don't mind roots, because they actually make reasonable steps sometimes. Oh, lots of nice dead standing in here. Bug hotels. I gained a whole bunch of elevation at the beginning, then lost it again. So, but I can see the gaps in the mountains. Where I'm going is up through there. I can see the tops of the mountains through there, so I know that's where I'm going. All the leaves coming out of there. Look. That time of the year. Right, onwards and upwards. Well, the trail's a little undulating in places, but this is what makes it all worthwhile. End of the road as far as the road is concerned. Now we get into some rock hopping. Where we're going is up over through those trees over there. These rocks like that big one there in the middle, just with the splits in it, just shows you how tenacious nature is. There's several places I know that have just amazing rocks like that, where it's just a crack in the rock, obviously, that a seed has fallen into. But look at that. Then you get these amazing trees growing out. Stunning. Right. Let's head up around the corner here. The lake's just around the corner. So, if anybody ever goes hiking with me, will know that my favourite expression, yeah, it's just around the next corner. But the next corner can take some time to get to. This is the debris field that forms the lake, so we are right there. Oh, very nice. Very nice indeed. Oh, there's still water coming out of the waterfall up top there. There's various glaciers and what have you up here. Oh, looks like the lake isn't. Looks like the lake is empty. Wow. A little bit of lake over there. Not a lot. Right. Which means there's absolutely no chance of me heading up to the other lake. This, believe it or not, is normally a lake, and a sizable one too. Now, up there, up through that, where you can see that yellow tree, there's a dip in there. Up in the back of there, there is another lake. Well, I can tell you now, the waterfall's looking very nice. Over in there, there's a waterfall right smack in the middle of the shot there. The waterfall's still flowing, so there's water flowing down in here somewhere. But this is normally full of water, but it's not today. So either way, doesn't matter. Still a beautiful walk up here. Love it. Yeah. So you can continue on around this lake and up there over to the waterfall. So I'm going to wander around that way a little bit. I'm going to find a very nice rock to sit down on and have a rest and something to eat. I must admit, I didn't expect to come here and find that little puddle in the middle there. That is the lake at the moment. I'm going to see if I can get across there. This is normally full of water, so bear with me. It's a little bit rocky. Yes, a Dave hike. Come to the lake. Somebody stole the lake. Right, so have to watch your footing in this stuff, because although these rocks don't look very big, they are still pretty heavy. We'll still bust an ankle, and up in here, not somewhere good to bust an ankle. Right, well, yes, there's a little ground squirrel or something over there squeaking at me. It's probably saying, hey, where'd you put my lake? Where's my lake gone? Early spring after the runoff is the best time to come up through here. But, if it was, I would be very much wet by now, but it's not. So this is the remnants of the lake. There we go. We are at the lake. And looking at the footprints, what have we got here? That looks like somebody's dog. Yeah, there's a shoe print, person. Some little squirrely prints. More dog prints. That's definitely somebody's dog. That's a really good canine print right there. Yeah. So it went in the lake there and came back out the lake there. Or puddle, as we will call it today. We won't call it a lake, we'll call it a puddle. However, if being up in the middle of these mountains is not totally awe-inspiring, I don't know what is. This is normally full of water. Now there's several other trails you can get up around the back of that one. I've never been up there, and that's all scrambling. I don't like scrambling on rock. I can hear the waterfall up through the trees, so me being me, I'm going to head up that way a little bit. And there's normally a creek crossing up there, but if the water is this low, creek might be low too, so I'm going to cut back across into the forest and pick up the trail. Well, I can hear water flowing underneath some of the rock here in places. I started heading up into where the waterfall is, but that was just getting thicker up in there, and I know there's not really anywhere else you can go once you're up in there, so I will follow my way back out of here. It's very nice, absolutely amazing. Keep seeing squirrels and things, all the nice colours. Good, eh? There's somewhere else that I was going to go. This is a 2-stop day today. There's somewhere else that I want to head to, which is not too far away from here. So since I'm up this area, whoop, I might as well go that way. So this is nature's magic. Yeah, look at this little rock under this tree. It's a massive tree. See, the trees grow in the rocks, and eventually the roots will bust open the rocks. So you get like one like this. It's where a new one's just started. There's its great granddad over there. Here's a new one just getting started. Look, it's bloody amazing. Nature's amazing. On a human time scale, it seems like everything's forever, but it is not. We can't see it, but everything I'm stood on is currently moving. Very slowly, but it is moving. A bit like me, there's lots of things to twist your ankle on out here. And so many rocks to explore, it's not funny. Oh yeah. This is somewhere you could come on a hot sunny day and literally take 1,000,000 photographs. So I'm gonna rock hop back across this bit. Look at this. Limestone all breaking up. Eventually it all breaks up into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces, turns into sand, gets washed down the creeks, fills in the deltas down in the bottom of the river valleys, and hey presto, the whole process starts again. Yeah. We just don't see it because the geological time scale is huge. What just took me 30 seconds to say will literally take millions of years to happen. Nope. Close that hole. Anything with rock hopping, especially when you're yabbering on the camera as well, make real sure you know where your footings are. This is all Black Prince Mountains and that round here, around behind that tree. There's Black Prince up there. Some very good trails up there. Apparently up along the top of that ridge is actually very nice, but not really my comfort zone, I'm afraid. I prefer to be in forests, because if somebody said to me, hey Dave, stop exactly where you are, spend the night there, no problem, I can do that easy peasy, no worries whatsoever. Oh, that's a bit more of a well-trodden trail. Now I know that this particular trail goes around in kind of a loop, so being like most other wildlife, I prefer to take the easy way to walk. I will walk back this way. Yeah. Yes, it's Black Prince and all that up through there. That is not a nice picture. Just look at that though. Look, literally on a hot sunny day I could literally take thousands of pictures up through here. So I'm going to continue on my way back, which I have a very strong suspicion is that way, and then I'm going to head on to my next location. Yes, the other lake piece is up through that gap up through there and just up around those rocks. Not heading up there. This is a really good example of a tree and a rock. See the roots have come down through this gap, pushing it apart. There's some more of the root right there. Look. Makes you wonder what they find for nutrients in there. It's also safety, see, because that tree can grow there and there's nothing else around it. So that tree's pretty much got its own growing spot, which is why when you find abandoned areas that had roads in, you'll find that the trees will grow up through the tarmac first. You'll get little cracks where grasses will grow, and then the trees set in. And that's why you'll quite often find rows of trees along old tarmac roads, because there's no competition. There's nothing to grow around it. The tree can just get in there and grow, and there's nothing to crowd it out. All of this down through here, if you look at all this rock, this obviously fell off a mountain up there, probably Black Prince would be my guess. Probably fell off a mountain, all rolled down the hill, created a huge crap load of debris, yeah, like up at Moraine Lake, where you've got the debris acting as a dam. Then you get small lakes and that build in round behind it, like the one we just went to that had no water in it. And then eventually all the plants and everything start to grow, and then you get all the organic matter form up between the rocks, and slowly but surely the rocks start to disappear. Like if you look on this side, see there all the grasses and that are burying the rocks in the organic material. And if you came back to here 500, 1,000 years from now, most of this would probably just look exactly like this. It would just be green and covered. You'd probably be at a hard push to find rocks. But it's really quite amazing, nature's process. Nothing stands still in nature, nothing whatsoever. If you look at all this tree debris down in the bottom here, all these old bits of logs and stuff like that, it all breaks down, decomposes, new stuff grows in it. There's a perfect one there. You see the line of the orange? That is what's left of the old tree. Just rots away into nothing, turns itself in the soil, all the new plants grow on it. Nature's process. Right, I've got some more rocks coming up, so I'm going to concentrate on the rocks and not the camera. Right, I've come down to the next bridge. I can just about hear trickling underneath the rocks every now and again. But, just about nothing. Yeah, as you can see, all the little ponds and what have you that are normally full. Oh, there's some deer tracks over there. All the little ponds and that are normally full. Come up here in the spring runoff, this will just be raging down through here. hence the bridge. Yeah, but as it stands at the moment, it's pretty dry. You can just about hear it trickle. Right, I will continue on down this trail. Now, most people would pass this spot. There's another bridge. Most people would pass this spot and not give another thought to it. But up on the rock, there's just about no water flowing down through there whatsoever. But here, there's water flowing. So you've got to ask yourself why. And the reason is, that's a forest. The forest is all full of all kinds of mosses and debris in the ground and material that holds water. So when it does rain, it's like a giant sponge, and it holds water in that area up through that valley. And that's a very long valley that goes up through there. It'll hold water up in there for the dry season. Yeah. So we haven't had any rain for ages, weeks and weeks and weeks. We haven't had any rain. However, there's still good water flowing out of there. That's because it's slowly trickling out from the sponge, which is why people always look at the trees and they go, oh, the trees are the most important thing. To me, the most important thing is the forest floor, because that's what holds the water, that's where all the nutrients are, that's what causes everything to grow. The trees are magic, they're great to look at, but the forest floor, this stuff, it's all spongy and green, holds water like you wouldn't believe, and slowly releases it over time. If you've got a rocky creek, that water will just literally flow out of there, and 2 days later, after the rain, it's all gone. There's nothing left. It's all gone. So if you're going to store water, they've started doing it around the world in a lot of places now. Gone back to old water storage systems, where basically you create wet areas, you create lots and lots of little ponds that all flow into each other, that all soak water in. Because if water can run off the soil or run off the rock, it's gone. It's in the creeks, it's gone, it's heading downhill. But if you can keep it there and let it soak in, see all this stuff, all these mosses, look at this, like sponge, let's see, just soaks up water, keeps the water in the forest, keeps the forest healthy. So it's very important. This is one of the problems when you clear cut an area. You've got to make sure that you're leaving enough debris. Back in the day, people would clear cut it literally right down to the soil, down to absolutely nothing, and then expect the forest to just grow again. And obviously it doesn't. For a forest to grow like this naturally, it takes years and years and years. So once you destroy that soil level, there is nothing for the forest to grow in. It's like having a vegetable garden and you take all the soil out of it, you throw your carrot seeds on top of the rocks at the bottom and expect them to grow into carrots. It's just not going to happen. You need the soil base, you need the understory, you need the forest floor. And that's why this is the most important bit of the forest. Yes, the trees are lovely to look at for humans, and they do play a vital part in the forest. However, they're not the be-all and end-all of forests. The most important bit is actually the bit you're walking on. That's the bit you've got to look after, because that's where the new forest will come from. That's the new growth right there. Alright, coming back down the trail, look at the clouds, eh? High wispy clouds. It was actually really cool this morning because they were bright orange. They're really cool, the different stripes. Looks like bright orange stripes. But at least one good thing with this trail is the bit on the way back, because it's all downhill. Just got to watch your footing a little bit. It's all downhill. It's an old access road. But, back in the day when they were doing a lot of exploratory up in here and all that kind of stuff, they would literally just punch roads through wherever they felt they, oh, I know what, let's just stick a road through there. And you go looking for stuff. But, now a lot of them have become really good trails. So it's a double-edged sword. However, it gets people out and about, gets them in the mountains. That has to be a good thing. Yeah, it is a boring trail. I don't like walking old fire roads and log roads. But look at those clouds. Look at that. If that's not nice, I don't know what it is. Look at that. Perfect. Right, I'll do some more when I get back down to the bridge. Right, nearly back at the river. You can hear it very clearly. That with my other camera would make an excellent photo. Look at that. Oh yeah. I haven't taken my good camera out much this summer, I must admit. Been doing a lot of places that are pretty rough to get to. I've had exploring here and there. But this GoPro is what, $500-600. That's still expensive enough to miss if you drop it and break it, and it's supposed to be a bit more shockproof and all that. But if I drop like 6-10 grand's worth of camera gear, I ain't gonna be very happy. But I can tell you now that the GoPro does not do that picture justice. It really doesn't. However, it is still very nice. Right, almost back to the bridge. There's my bridge over there. Don't fancy wading across that, so I will head around to the bridge. People underestimate bridges. Our world would be a very wet place without bridges. Everybody have very wet feet too. It is stunning though. I just don't fancy walking across it. Yeah. Not when there's a perfectly good bridge. I do like these new style of bridges. It's absolutely fantastic. Very nice indeed. A few steps at the end. And that, I think, I will use my closing out shot for this video. A very nice trail. Better done in the spring and what have you, when the lake is absolutely full. Also, it'd be nice if there was still snow on the mountains when you get up there. So springtime would be the best time to do this trail. Although it is a very nice walk, it's a lovely walk. I haven't seen a single solitary other person anywhere. Yeah, had the whole place to myself. It's very nice. Right, I will call that it for this one and move on to my next location.